fighter. Welcome to Don Broadhurst. Thank you for joining us, Don.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
This is the latest episode of Ask the Coach. And Don is one of the coaches for West Warwicks Boxing Club. Many of our members will have seen Don around, and I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to talk a bit about Don and make everyone aware of who he is, what he's achieved in the sport, and then we put a few questions out to our members that we're going to fire your way, if that's okay with you, Don.
Sound, yeah.
Good, how's things going?
Not bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm okay. You coping okay with lockdown?
Yeah, it can be frustrating for a lot of people, but I've been at work since last May, so I was only locked down for 3 months. It's a hard thing for everywhere in the world, isn't it, really? It's scary, I suppose.
Do you think we're getting out of it now?
Yeah, I think slowly. I don't really want to go into all my views on it, to be honest, because it's quite political.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I try and get on with my own life, worry about myself. Do you know what I mean? Hope the best for everyone else. Because it's, I don't know, I don't get it all. A lot of it don't make sense to me. But I don't want to get into that. I just want to keep on boxing.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So, Don, you are, not many people at the gym may not know this, but obviously you were a very experienced and successful boxer in both the professional and the amateur ranks as well. You were a professional Commonwealth Champion and also in the amateurs multiple champion, including ABA National Champion and a Commonwealth Games gold medal, which is amazing. Great achievement. Yeah. When did you retire? When was the last time you had your last bout?
I think it was 3 years ago. It'll be 4 years this December. Well, later in this year. 4 years later in this year. Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, everyone knows you as one of the coaches at West Warwicks Amateur Boxing Club. How many years have you been coaching here now?
I had dipped my toe in before I retired, really, didn't I?
Yeah.
Helping the lads and getting help off the lads myself.
Yeah.
So probably about 4 years ago, wasn't it?
That's right. It was it was at the old gym, wasn't it? And and of course you did a lot of your training for your last fight.
My last 2 camps were mainly based at the Combat Sports Centre, really.
Yes. Yeah. You have to excuse any background noise you hear. As you all know, we're having a big expansion at the moment, and the work's fully underway. So we don't want to interrupt the workmen. So if you do hear any background noise, any drilling or shouting, just try and ignore it. Right, we're going to scale it right back to the start now, Don. You're from Aston in Birmingham. Erdington, sorry, North Birmingham.
I boxed for Aston though.
You boxed for Aston, yeah. What made you start boxing?
Well, the first person, no one in my immediate family used to box. It weren't like I was brought up, I'm going to be a boxer. I was quite oblivious to it, really, apart from Mike Tyson, I suppose. I used to watch Bruce Lee more than anything. I was more into martial arts and stuff like that. Yeah. But I remember I was in my junior school. We used to have a school football match. Then on the way after the game, I was getting changed, and I seen our caretaker from our junior school. His name was Paul Bond. And he said, Don, why don't you come to our boxing gym? We've opened up a boxing gym in Erdington in the local area. He said, why don't you come along? I was a bit of a scally at school, but a bit of a roughneck street kid, little man syndrome. So so I thought, you know what, why not? I'll give it a go, just something to do.
So how old were you then?
I was 10 when I first started
So you
training.
were still at primary school?
Yes.
Excellent. And that was a question from Triple G, not the Triple G, but the Triple G we know.
Triple G.
Yeah, who admires you very much. And he's fired out another question as well, and we'll go straight into that one. What does it mean for you to be a fighter?
I'm going to be biased here because I'm a boxer, and to me, being a boxer is the king of all sports. If you look at over the years, look at Muhammad Ali, he's not just a boxer, he's an icon. And there's no bigger accolade than being a world heavyweight champion. It's been diluted a bit more now because if we don't get the attention that we deserve, and some people call it barbaric if they don't know the sweet science of boxing. But boxing's the ultimate sport, really. It's an individual sport. You play football, you have a bad day, get subbed on and off. Boxing, you can lose your life. For football you need 1 ball, basketball you need 1 ball. For boxing, you need 2 balls.
I like that one. Obviously, boxing as well has created a lot of opportunities for you over the years. Probably giving you a chance to travel and experience things you never would have done had you not been a boxer.
Well, first of all, when I was at school before I started boxing, I had learning difficulties. I was in the lowest sector of everyone with people who were dyslexic, and I was developing really slowly. Probably a lot to do with my personal life, my family life, and the ups and downs of that, really. I think subconsciously my mind weren't at school. worrying about things that are going on in my home life, so flat, I suppose. But then when I started boxing, it gave me something to focus on. Then my education started getting better as well. I started reading more, just started doing better at school. So the further I was getting on the boxing ranks, I was getting more intelligent at the same time. I wasn't getting more intelligent, I was opening my mind.
Okay.
So it helped me that way. As for what it's done for me in my life, the first time I ever went on an aeroplane was boxing for England.
Yeah.
I just turned 18 and I boxed at a multi-nations in Sardinia. So the first time I went on a plane somewhere as beautiful as Sardinia. We flew to Rome, then we travelled, I can't remember how we got to Sardinia, but then we went to Sardinia with people like Kevin Mitchell, Nathan Brough, you know Kevin Mitchell obviously. Nathan got a bronze medal in the Junior World Championships, and boxing's given me an amazing life, you know. I've been everywhere boxing. I've had training camps, you know. I've been to the Floyd Mayweather gym and trained there. Yeah. I've sparred at the Wildcard gym in Las Vegas where Manny Pacquiao trains. Obviously, getting the Commonwealth Games gold in Australia. I boxed at the World Championships in China. I boxed in Malaysia, and I boxed all over Europe. So it's took me around the world, and I would never have the opportunity without boxing. And I wouldn't have known half the names of the countries without boxing, really.
Yeah.
So it's given me great opportunities, but I worked my arse off to get to it. No one gives it to me. Some people go, "Oh, don't you look at it?" You won't look. I put myself in that position, took myself to the gym, worked the hardest.
Yeah.
So it's all through blood, sweat and tears.
You made your own luck.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and you were talking about the team that you travel with a lot of time. A lot of people look back as a golden era of amateur boxing. Many people who are now household names, who went on to achieve great things in the pro ranks, and who were an inspiration to lots of people. Who would you say was your biggest inspiration?
I think we all inspired each other, really. You know, we all bounce off each other. Our nucleus of talent, you know, on any given day, we could all win. Do you know what I mean? We're all as good as each other within reason. You know, a couple of us stood out a bit more than others, but overall, you know, there's so many talented lads, and you can't help but raise the bar when you're around and tell people success breeds success, and you learn off different people, and you learn just the higher the standard of your people around, you raise yours. Well, to excel, you have to. And
was there anyone, either inside or outside of boxing, who you'd actually consider was your biggest inspiration to achieve what you achieved?
I just had so much willing drive myself, and just to be on the England team, I said all the England lads, they inspired me, I suppose, because I wanted to have that England vest. Yeah. It took me a few, going through national championships, I was a nearly man. I got to 2 national quarterfinals, 2 national semi-finals. I lost to the winner 3 times out of them 4 times. I was nearly there. Yeah. So until I got over that final hurdle and started winning a national title, I never looked back then. So just all the boxers around me, really, yeah. Okay.
Now, obviously, you're no longer boxing. It'd be a cliche to say, you miss boxing. This is a question come from Paddy. What do you miss the most?
The competing, obviously, getting in the ring, having a fight night, you know, whether it's a multi-nations tournament, the other side of the world, having 4 fights in a week, or fighting a 12-round fight live on Sky Sports with titles and getting paid. Yeah. Both of them, really, I don't know. When I look back, I suppose winning the Commonwealth Games give me the most joy compared to winning the Commonwealth professional title on telly. Yeah. It's just a different experience, and it's hard to, it's really complex to explain, because winning the Commonwealth game, it took me from the age of 11 up to 22, it took me half of my life when we were to win a professional Commonwealth title. I know it's a different chapter and all that experience coming to it, but it only took me 9 fights. So it weren't the same, and travelling the world with my teammates, who are still my friends now, and the loads of great lads, and some of them achieving magnificent things, and I'm immensely proud of all my friends who have done well. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, it's amazing, really.
And, I mean, a lot of people say ex-boxers who go into coaching, they find that coaching, to a certain extent, will fill part of that void left by competing as a boxer. What would you say would be your short-term and your long-term plans as a coach? That's a question.
My short-term plans, obviously, just doing my level 2, my level 3. You know, personally, at this gym, I want to. I'm here not to make up the numbers. I'm here to get national champions. Absolutely. And there's no. That's why I'm here. And to help review the other coaches and the good boxers we've got, and look at the facilities we've got. We've got all the right ingredients to make that happen. That's short. You know, I want national champions. I want Commonwealth champions. I want Olympic medalists. I want people who are going to box for England. That's short term. That's amateur boxing wise here. Then as I get along the line, and I've had enough champions, and I've learned and bettered myself, I want to be a GB coach. I want to go to the Olympics as a GB coach and the Commonwealth Games and see the boxers go through what I've went through, because I've done it and I can relate to it. You know, I think they'll look at me for good advice, I suppose. Yeah. So that's still short term, really, short to mid term. Then after I'm a GB coach, I'd like to be a coach in a foreign country probably. Wow. You know, go back to Australia where I boxed before and be a national coach there. I've got a lot of friends there from when I lived there. Yeah. So that's my long-term goal, really. Then who knows, dip my toe in professional water. Who knows? It's a long way away. But first and foremost, I want to be a successful amateur coach, definitely.
Yeah, and this is the place to do it, isn't it? You'll find, it is an amazing facility, but I say it doesn't matter where we do it. It's all about our ethos in coaching the boxers, and how everything we do, it's all boxer-centred. It's always putting the boxer first with everything we do.
It's not just about boxing with the lads. I ask them how they're doing at school, how their home life is. I want to make them better human beings, better people.
Absolutely.
If they're not doing well at school, I'll say, listen, you better start better at school. Some lads, when I'm not good, I'll give them confidence. I go, you can do it if you put your mind to it, if you try harder, if you persevere. You know, you just need a bit of a push sometimes, don't you? Yeah,
definitely. Being a boxing coach, particularly an amateur boxing coach, it's so much more than just being a coach, isn't it?
1,000,000%, yeah. But I enjoy that part though, do you know what I mean? Because I know how hard life was for me, so I can pass on my experience to them and hopefully give them a better life, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's from Charlie. If one of our young aspiring boxers want to follow in your footsteps, what's the best piece of advice you could give them?
Dedication. Do you know what I mean? There's, you know, the main ingredients for success is hard work, perseverance, dedication, getting your runs in, listening to your coaches. Me, I also love watching, but I was a student of boxing. When I boxed at the World Championships in China, and you have people like Golovkin there and Rogondo, so I'm watching these live. Povetkin, look at them now where they are. I'm watching these live. I'd go to every sitting. I'd go to the daytime sitting and the evening sitting. I'd go on my own sometimes. If the lads were boxing, you couldn't watch it. Or the lads had been eliminated from the competition, they'd want to piss some of them. But I'd watch every session. I'm a proper student. I love boxing now. I love boxing. I watch it and read it every day without fail. I'm shadow boxing, rain work. I'm hitting bags, walking through the gym. It's a massive part. It leads my life, really. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I think it concerns me sometimes where the boxers that are dedicated, they're very focused, but they don't know anything about the sport of boxing. It's not like they switch off. And I mean, now more than ever, they've got the opportunity they've got a whole wealth of boxing at their fingertips. They literally put YouTube on, they can find anything, can't they? It's true, and some people don't want to go to the gym, work hard. But the thing is, being a full-time athlete, it's a 24-hour thing anyway, because you've got to think about your sleep, your rest, your food, your diet, what you're doing socially. So it's hard to switch off. So I do understand some people wanting to come away from the sport or having downtime, but me, I'm like fully immersed in it and I'll never change.
Yeah, brilliant. We've got one more question, last minute one came in from Semi-Pro Joe. So it's two-part question. First of all, can I have your autograph? And secondly, who's the best amateur boxer of all time in your opinion?
Of all time?
I mean, you've been in with some of the best of all time.
I've been in with some good lads.
But pound for pound, in the amateurs.
In the amateurs.
You don't have to pick one.
I'm going to say Rogondo, the Cuban, because he's only a weight above me, and I actually fought people who fought him.
Yes.
So when I watched him, I'd focus on him more than probably heavyweights. But you've got all the Cubans, like Felix Ivan, Tifilo Stevenson, Laszlo Papp. There's loads of brilliant amateurs over the world who've won multiple world championships and Olympic medals. But Rogondo's the one for me. It just makes it look so easy.
Absolutely.
And that's why the Cubans are so good, because they've got that much experience. They know exactly where they are in the ring at all times. Their ring generalship, the craftsmanship, they know exactly how many steps they've got before they hit the ropes, because their footwork is so clever and they've done it so many times. It's second nature to them, and that's how you've got to be. It's got to be automatic. You don't have to concentrate on other things if that's automatic, can't you?
And I mean, obviously, they would never have the opportunity to train in a facility like this. So, what is it that makes them so good? Dedication,
having top coaches, being around other successful boxers to learn from, and the hunger, I think, really. That's a massive thing. Well, this day and age, there's loads of boxers, even from England now, we're doing very well, and we're not as hungry as some of the other countries. A lot of English boxers are fighting for pride, fighting for money, fighting for material things.
Absolutely.
It's mad. Where other side of the world, they're fighting for food, to put food on the table. It's mad how British people are doing so well when we're not as hungry as them. But it just shows how much drive and determination anyone can have from any walk of life, and no matter what you've got, really. You know, look at Floyd Mayweather. what a sportsman, what an athlete, so dedicated to the last final fight. Well, not the last final fight, but the fight before that.
Proper one.
Do you know what I mean? A supreme athlete, who's a
Yeah.
multi-millionaire
Yeah.
who trained like a contender. And I think that's a big thing to keep you at the top. You've got to train like
Yeah.
you want to get to the top.
You've got to be prepared to do that boring stuff behind the closed doors that no one sees.
And you've got to always be willing to do it. Like I suppose as he's gone through his career, he probably timed himself like how many. So just say for instance, you're running 100 metres in like 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't, but say for instance, when he looks back over his career, he'd see if he's slowing down and stuff like, or he'd know what he's got to do to get to where he wants to go. Sort of thing. Because I believe having a program and being methodical and just having things like aims, short-term, long-term goals. It's a lot more than just getting in there and putting someone in the faces, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah.
Chest with muscles, I call it.
Absolutely.
Strategic.
Good, very good. Don, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thanks,
Great
Brian.
to see you.
Thank you.
And we're back open the 12th of April. You'll be here Monday.
I'll be here.
Brilliant,
Just
thank
bring,
you. Thanks, Don.
Cheers, Paul.